All right, hello everyone. A lot of you guys have been asking for a YouTube video about my settings. I'm gonna really quickly just go through all the important things, not waste any time, not show. I'm not gonna show any gameplay or show any example. I'm just gonna run through it so you understand what I have and not to waste anyone's time. Let's go right into it right away, right? So you want to open up your Nvidia control panel, right? Go into your manage 3D settings and you want to look for a setting called vertical sync. Vertical sync causes input delay on your roller. So you want to make sure you have this off. It's the same thing with your resolution. If your monitor resolution isn't the same as your in-game resolution, it also causes a slight input delay as well in your controller. And also coming into G-Sync, it also causes input delay if you have G-Sync compatibility. So I recommend you turn you turn all three of those settings off, and the resolution you change, right? Coming to the game real quick. Gameplay, like I said, everything I have is meant for FPS purposes. So, damage feedback is on 2D, cross that, off, stacking. I play a blue reticle, so I play a 255, 255, 0, right? Same thing with laser sight. Highlights are on, right? You want these on for more. It just gives you more information in general, and you know what type of health the enemies are. It's pretty obvious of why you should have this on. It's pretty self-explanatory. Weapon idle cycle is on off. Same thing, pretty self-explanatory. You want to be in control of your weapons. You don't want to just be randomly switching at all times. Same thing with closing death boxes, right? You don't want to be trying to go for an armor swap and then someone shoots you out of it, right? Chain healing, I have this off because I just been so used to the regular healing system in the game. I just don't really care to even try this. This part is really important. Your movement tab, you want to have always sprint on, and you want to copy how all this is set up, or besides the mantle boost, you want to copy how this is set up right here, due to the reason of whenever you are constantly putting in an input onto your stick, like pushing down, you are increasing stick drift in the long run. So you are just kind of wear and tearing. This helps your controller just last longer in the long run. So yeah, have this on, have this pressed, have this off. Coming down to the jetpack, you want this to be on hold. It's easier, right? Instead of constantly pressing the button over and over, you're able to just hold it down and let go whenever you want, right? Compared to when you have to hold it and seeing how it's constantly holding and I have to repress the button and I have to repress the button. It's just not good for your roller in the long run. Less input on your sticks obviously means better for your controller health in the long run. And then coming down to Manta Boost, this is just how I have it. This is just what I like. HUDs, like I said, everything's on off. It's on like the least possible thing. Outside of this, I just like seeing the arsenals on the map. Performance display on. I like to see how my game is. There's really nothing too special about the gameplay tab. Everything's just on the minimal settings. Subtitle, yeah, all that stuff. All right, sure, mode off. All right, coming to the controller settings, most important part, right? Everyone wants to see it. We'll go through. I'll go through the button layout at the end. Default. Tap to use and reload. You want to use it as this, by the way. So when you are on knockdowns, you are able to reload when your mag is near empty. A lot of people don't know that if you're able to reload when you're on a knockdown, because you always have the problem of when you're holding your button, you accidentally res the guy instead of reloading, so you have to shoot out your whole mag. Yeah, so you have it on this. You're able to just tap your reload button once when you're on the knockdown. This is why you're supposed to have it like this. Also going into crouch, it's the same thing. You want it on hold because less input. The faster you are, and also just the better it is on your roller overall in the long run, right? You want to be able to spam like this too. It's also just better overall because you have more control of your movement instead of just constantly going back and forth like this, because you can't really like spam it as hard. See how like much slower it is and how clunky it feels, right? So yeah, make sure you have this on hold. Aim button on hold, pretty self-explanatory. It's just easier. Survival slots on. Trigger dead zones none. I don't think it really matters between default and none. I don't notice a difference, at least personally. Menu cursor speed is just right one tick below the trigger dead zone. And coming to obviously the most important thing, we have the controller settings itself, right? I recently just got into 4-1 ALCs. I'm going to be playing this throughout the rest of the year because I think this is the best I've ever felt playing a sense outside of just 4-3 linear, no dead zone, right, and no per optics. Right, so like I said, we go into the per optic settings. These are all default. This doesn't matter as much. Linear, none, small, off, all the all this stuff. By the way, to the people who complain about stick drift when you have on none, right? As you can see, my roller constantly moving. This helps aim assist a lot, by the way, because since your roller is constantly moving, you are constantly being able to lock on targets a lot easier, right? So that's why, I recommend you have that on, off, instead of trying to adjust for stick drift when you have it on none. Yeah, vibration off, like I said. And then obviously coming through, apparently bleed through does exist in this game. So these are my current bleed through settings: 0, 1, 0, 400, 400, everything 0, 130, 130. I'm not sure how much of an effect it has. I personally haven't noticed it at all, but yeah. Here are my current ALC settings. I think it works for me. I recommend you don't go lower than 2.6 or higher than 3.2 from what I've been talking with people. 2.8 feels perfect for me. I've hit a lot of clips with it. You've seen probably some of my shorts with it last day or two. Yeah. Yeah, make sure this is on. Oh, by the way, obviously make sure this is on. Turn this off, right? Have 4-1. And then quickly going through my binds real quick. I play claw. So this is how I'm holding my controller all day, right? For 8, 10, 12 hours, however long I'm playing, right? So this works for claw. I just have simple crouch on hold. I'd be pressing my ability like this constantly, and then just melee doesn't really matter as much, right? Obviously. Adjust this to your own liking is what's worked for me. So yeah. And then quickly going through video settings, I have everything for FPS performances. In the description, I will put the launch commands for both EA and Steam on how to play stretch res with no black bars. Obviously, you can see my screen doesn't have any black bars, right? And yeah, I mean, 110 FOV. I don't have 120. I tried it, didn't like it. FOV ability scaling off or disabled. Sprint view minimal. Obviously, a lot of these settings are pretty self-explanatory. Auto. None of these really matter. And then obviously coming into the most important part, you want to disable VSync, right? Like I said earlier, VSync causes controller input delay. Enable plus boost, 0, none, right? Everything's on the lowest possible it can be outside of model detail and my texture streaming budget. I just have these on a bit higher because it does make the game look a little bit more prettier. It makes the stream a bit more enjoyable, right? I would have these probably on the lowest possible setting for just maximum FPS if I wasn't streaming, but this is just, this is for the stream. Really nothing too special about my settings. I think this is what the average person runs in terms of pro players wise. Yeah, there's nothing really too special about it, right? You come into the audio tab, nothing really too special about the audio tab, just adjust it to your own liking. There's no secret audio that, makes the game sound better. Audio in this game isn't unfortunately the best. Sound and background, emo preview, it doesn't really matter, right? All that stuff doesn't really matter. It's however you want, right? Yeah, I mean, that's just a quick run through. See ya.